All right, holiday cards is another student event, and you can see the winners. And but every kid who's there is a winner, where they're representing their school. And we had these two gorgeous little blondes in wearing fur coats, and it turned out they were from former Soviet Union and very recent immigrants, and they were translating for their mother. It was really a charming moment. These kids having a good time together. We also have Festival of Trees, and in December, as the board will find, and probably find a little overwhelming, it's constant activities. In December we have Kwanzaa, we have the holiday card contest, we have the Festival of Trees where the schools decorate the house, and that's also one of the previous pictures we have of the house. And we just started something called the Empty Bowl, where we donate, we all make bowls and then have a lunch and people buy the bowls and get a free lunch, and we donate it to a local charity. And that takes care of distributing food to hungry children in the schools, and you'll hear a lot more about that. Community outreach this year, of course, we had a record-breaking Taste of Douglasville. 8,000 people came. The biggest year we'd ever had before was 6. And that was our second stage. Allison, I expected to have here, and she was our chair, but she was having some health issues last week, so that may be it. But she insisted we added a second stage, and this is our second stage. These are some of our, and there's Allison, at least here in pictures. Of course, our honorary co-chairs are the mayor's wife, Janice, and Linda, the county chair's wife. And this is our best new restaurant, which is the Irish Bread Pub, with Russ looking very happy to have been announced that. And we're very happy with him, too. He's also been a sponsor for one of our concert series. And here are just kids doing dance classes, and that's West Side Winds, which in fact receives grassroots support from us. We administer grassroots funds for the state in 2 counties right now, in Douglas and in Polly. Chili cook-off should be big this year, probably more than the 2,500 we had last year, because it's an election year, and it basically all the candidates cook chili, and then people go in and eat their chili as kind of a straw vote, because we have it the Friday before Halloween. So, okay, Kings. This was a first for us, and when we did our first Dia de los Reyes, it was just a huge success for us, and I know it's going to be even bigger. We're already planning it. We've met with the Hispanic Roundtable. We had 500 people show up. We had no idea. So here's some more pictures of that, because it's a new event. We had mariachis, although I think we're adding some more music. We had piñatas, there are tamales. We're also adding different kinds of food this year on the insistence of other Hispanics who are sitting here in this room. It's a good idea. And we had a youth choir from St. Teresa's that was wonderful, that sang carols in both English and Spanish. It was one of our most fun events ever. Don't you think so, Mary Elizabeth? I know that you enjoyed it. Pioneer Days is evolving, I think, more into a bluegrass festival. We're hoping that we have added a lot of hands-on activities where, say, Dave Kelly, he's a folk artist who works with us a lot of times, had kids carving. We always have kids performances. We have lots of local little groups. So. One of my favorite pictures. The ice cream social is coming up. And we're having the West Side Winds do brass band patriotic tunes on the front porch this year as our music. And last year we had great music with Bob Snelling and his group, and obviously our curator enjoyed it a lot, being serenaded. It was really fun. But one of the weak points last year was we went to Brewster's Ice Cream, and this year we are back with Cold Stone Creamery, and that should please our membership, and we'll have more members, I'm sure, attending for the ice cream than the annual meeting. So, our satellites are very important to us. We have 10. They're listed in your annual report, and they meet various times and work with us very different ways. But last summer was an event I hated to miss, and you can see that Alan was there. He's welcoming a delegation of Chinese English teachers who had visited from China. They presented Ed Krebs, who is part of Sweetwater Camera Club, but also, I guess, with the International Exchange group, Cultural Exchange, with this flag. They asked the cowboy poets to do cow camp cooking for the Chinese, which they loved, as you can see from this little cutie over there sitting with the saddle. And I was really grateful to Bob for taking great pictures of this event. There were about 60, Alan, or about 60 professors, and they were touring the United States, and it was pretty spectacular, I think, having our local cowboy poets explain cowboy ways to Chinese English professors. Performing arts is increasingly strong, and particularly the concerts on the plaza. We started curating them. We'd always had sort of a mix of different kinds of world music in our series, where we'd have like a pan band, and then we'd have bluegrass, and then we'd have, I don't know, klezmer. I mean, you know, 3 or 4 different world musics. But we started, Bob is the chairman of programming committee, and he's staying in that, although he's leaving the board. We decided to have all blues in the fall, and that was a big hit. And it was, a lot of it was the quality. That's Delta Moon. Then you've got Code Blue, which is the guy with the harmonica in that area, and then you've got Oliver Woods, who really is spectacular, nationally known blues player. And huge crowds. It was very successful. So, next, please. We decided to do an all-Irish spring because we're also fairly shameless about hokiness. So this is our new stage cover that the city has built, and it had special lights and everything. I think that was with Pogue.
Believe so.
Yeah. We had Buddy O'Reilly band, but the pictures you're seeing, you know, we had the Pogue, we had Celtic Kudzu, and then we had dancers. And if you go to the Plaza concerts, and we get now between 250 and 400 people attending these concerts, they're fairly well known for having children dancing. We hope not screaming and dancing, but also dancing. And we had real Irish dancers from a local Irish dance school showing their stuff, and then of course all the rest of the little bitties just being adorable. So. The chamber concerts were spectacularly fine this year. Atlanta Chamber Players was a performance that could have been anywhere, and it was in our historic house with folding chairs in the dining room. And I think we had about 50 or 60 people for that one, right, Marge? And we also had a flute classical guitar duo. We had a jazz pianist and a classical. So George Mann was one of our performers, and he coordinates that for us. But we also have music at all of our events. Amy Wilson is a regular performer with us. Ilya Mostin, who's actually Lithuanian, very finely trained, peculiar, but finely trained as a pianist. And recently Nancy Wittenberger, who's there, has come on as one of our teaching artists, and she's been performing a lot with us, which has been terrific.